Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 945, the category Brainy Tuesday, number 64, Brainy Tuesday Trivia Quiz. This is a 20-question trivia quiz with a question 21 tiebreaker at the very end of the video if you need to stick around for that. All of the questions come from random categories, but they are a little bit more difficult than our typical pub quiz. Good luck on today's trivia. Question 1. Also known as Going Forth by Day, what is the common name for the collection of hymns, spells, and instructions that ancient Egyptians used to guide their loved ones past obstacles on the way to the afterlife? That book is called The Book of the Dead. Question number 2. Although official figures claim that only 31 people initially died from overexposure, it is estimated that at least 24,000 people received lethal doses of radiation as the result of an accident in 1986 at what nuclear power plant in the former Soviet Union? That power plant is Chernobyl. Question number 3. Life's a pitch and then you buy. Somewhat surprisingly, neither the Snuggie nor the ShamWow was ever sold by what king of the infomercial, who is known for shouting about OxyClean, Kaboom, and Orange Glow, and for having a well-kept beard? That guy's name was Billy Mays. Question number 4. What two-word name describes the condition of organisms which are on the brink of extinction, like the giant weta, the partulus snail, the ivory-billed woodpecker, the black rhinoceros, Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, and the snow leopard? The two-word name we're looking for is endangered species. Question number 5. The two main characters, Vladimir and Estragon, are seen doing nothing in particular, as they have done and will continue to do throughout the play. What is the name of this play by Samuel Beckett, whose title character never does appear? That play is Waiting for Godot. Question number 6. What is the title of the most famous book by Laura Ingalls Wilder, originally published in 1935, in which young Laura's family moves into the Indian Territory of Kansas, hoping that the land will be made available for homesteaders? That book is Little House on the Prairie. Question number 7. These structures each contain a circular chromosome and a network of membranous stacks of discs termed thylakoids. What are these chlorophyll-containing structures found in all plants? These structures are called chloroplasts. Question number 8. When a solid object moves through a fluid, either a liquid or a gas, like a plane in the air or a submarine in the water, it is subjected to what resistive force, which, unlike friction, does depend upon the speed of the object? This resistive force is called drag. Question number 9. A mushroom sprang up to relieve the parched Perseus of thirst, thus lending a name to the city later ruled by kings like Atreus and Agamemnon. What was this famous golden city, considered by some the capital of an early Greek kingdom? The answer is Mycenae, or Mycenia. Question number 10. By the end of 1718, Colonel Maynard had slain its bloodthirsty captain and cut off his head. In 1996, ocean detectives discovered what ship that sank in June of 1718 that was captained by the infamous pirate Edward Teach, who went by the name Blackbeard. And Blackbeard's ship was called the Queen Anne's Revenge. Question number 11. Known scientifically as tuber melanosporum, this fungus develops underground fruits that emit a delicious smell, attracting animals such as pigs to dig them up and disperse their spores. Gourmet chefs pay big money for what fungi, which share their name with a similarly shaped variety of chocolate? The answer is the truffle. Question number 12. Which former U.S. president wrote all these books? The Burden and the Glory, To Turn the Tide, The Strategy of Peace, A Nation of Immigrants, Why England Slept, and Profiles in Courage. The answer is John F. Kennedy. Question number 13. A common term that can mean several things. It refers to a line that intersects a circle at 2 points, and, given an angle in a right triangle, it's the ratio of the length of the hypotenuse to the length of the side adjacent to the angle. What is this term that signifies the reciprocal of the cosine function? The answer is the secant. Question number 14. He arguably predicted the existence of automobiles, high-speed trains, and the internet in the work entitled Paris in the 20th Century. His novel, From Earth to the Moon, contains some striking similarities to the eventual Apollo mission. Who is this French author? The answer, Jules Verne. Question number 15. Used by opponents of Reconstruction, the period from 1865 to 1877 when the southern states that seceded were reorganized as part of the Union, what nickname was used to describe Northerners who moved to the South after the war, supposedly in an effort to get rich or acquire political power? They called those people carpetbaggers. Question 16. What is the common single term that fits all three descriptions? A minor character in literature that makes another seem better by contrast, a thin sheet of metal, and a flexible four-sided sword having a blunt point used in Olympic fencing. The answer is a foil. Question 17. This Wagner opera is based on a Gottfried von Strassburg romance about the love of a knight and a princess. A version of this story about what two characters was made into a 2006 movie starring James Franco and Sophia Myles. The answer is Tristan and Isolde. Question number 18. Related to otters and weasels, what mammal's highly dense and flossy fur makes them highly prized, and they have become a source of much controversy between fur farmers and animal rights activists? Probably a few animals fall into those descriptions, but the one we're looking for is a mink. Question number 19. This 17th and 18th century British writer was noted for his Journal of the Plague Year. He is best known, however, for Moll Flanders and a book chronicling the life of a shipwrecked sailor. Who was this author that penned Robinson Crusoe? The answer is Daniel Defoe. And question 20. Edward Albee wrote Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? And the Three Little Pigs sang Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf? But what was the name of the English new wave band that had a number 3 hit in 1982 called Hungry Like the Wolf? The answer is Duran Duran. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. We are only about 6 days away from the Final 50 Trivia Challenge. I think on Monday it starts. It's going to start with, I think we're going to go backwards. We're going to do episode 50, and we're going to go down to number 1. That'll be right before the final live episode of Road TRIpVIA, right at episode number 1000. So I don't remember if it starts at 9:50 or 9:51. Either way, Monday, we're less than a week away now. We've got about the first full month. We have like 30 quizzes ready to go. That's going to get me through most of the traveling that we're getting ready to do over the next, 30 days, which is a good start. We're still looking for about another 3 weeks worth, so the final 20 episodes. If you want to write a trivia quiz for this channel, it can be a random, completely whatever kind of stuff you're interested in, a random trivia quiz, 25 questions. If you submit it and it meets all the guidelines, then we're going to enter you into the drawing. During the live episode, we're going to give one of those quizzes $500. We'll PayPal it to you, mail you a check, send it to you in Venmo or Coinbase or whatever you have. We're going to make it happen for somebody who writes one of these 25 question quizzes. As several people have pointed out that have turned them in, it's not as easy as you would think to sit down and write a 25 question quiz where all of the questions have to have at least 30 words in there, and then you got to think of good categories and questions you haven't heard on the channel a whole bunch. So I know it takes a little bit of work. That's why we're giving such a good prize, $500 to whoever, and we're not doing a quality, it's not whoever's is the best. If your quiz that you submit meets the guidelines, your number's going to go into the drawing. We're going to draw one of those numbers live on episode number, I think it's 1002, September 28th. And one of the people who submit a quiz is going to win $500. So if you want in, check out the video link at the end of this episode or down in the description box of this video. It'll have a video that you can watch that kind of goes over the guidelines, tells you everything you need to know to submit a quiz to RoadTripVia@gmail.com and get into the competition. I know we still have 20 spots left, but once this starts happening, like the last competition we had, once we start doing the competition, people, I think, we're going to jump in and go, okay, that's not as hard as I thought, and they're going to submit. So we've only got about 20 slots left to get in on this competition. So if you're thinking about doing it, the sooner the better. Anyways, now that we're all caught up on that and everybody's clear with the Final 50 challenge, Brainy Tuesday, number 64, this is question 21, the tiebreaker. It's a short question, but a long answer. What are the 6 nations that have claimed sovereignty over the state of Texas? The state of Texas is famous for its 6 flags over Texas. What are those 6 flags? The 6 nations that have claimed sovereignty over the state. I don't know if you got it. I don't know how much time it's been. The answer, in no particular order: Spain, France, Mexico, the nation of Texas, the Confederate States of America, and then finally the United States of America are the 6 flags that have all flown over the state of Texas. Spain, France, Mexico, Texas, the Confederacy, and the United States. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.